There is an old saying that new isn't always better. Perhaps you're one of the people that believes new is always better. However, I'm here today to tell you why sometimes the old way of doing things is the best way. With millennials these days having access to all the technology they could want or ever need, it seems as though there are some things we need to preserve that could actually be better for us in the long run. In these next few minutes, I'm going to share with you why we should all read a little bit more on paper and a little bit less on screen. From my research, I've discovered there are many benefits with reading physical books instead of digital ones. So, today, I will tell you why reading on paper improves concentration and comprehension, how it is less physically and mentally taxing, and how it can help with retention of information. With a constant feed of electronic notifications bombarding us from all angles, our attention spans are shorter now than they ever have been. So I think I should address the concentration and comprehension bit first. Reading words on a screen on paper can definitely improve reader concentration. Just thinking about this is easy to see why. A book provides fewer distractions than a digital device. When reading articles on a multipurpose screen such as your phone or computer, there are often notifications or advertisements diverting your attention from the subject matter. Reading on a screen can also make us much more susceptible to multitasking. A single click of a mouse or a button, even on devices such as an e-reader, can take us to a different line of thought in the way of a different app, book, or article. Reading on paper can also increase the comprehension skills of the reader. If you are more concentrated on the subject material, it is no surprise that you will also understand it better. In a Norwegian study in 2013, a professor asked 72 grade 10 students to read 5 texts about 1,500 words in length each, then answer comprehension questions while still having access to the text. Half read in PDF format on an LCD screen, and the other half read on paper. The students reading on paper scored significantly better than those reading on screens and were able to answer the questions faster. The professor predicts a reason for this is the students reading physical versions were better able to navigate the text and remember physical markers such as flipping a page to find and comprehend the information. Now, I think as college students, we could all agree that we need a bit more rest. So, anything that requires less exertion would be preferable. This brings me to my next point. Reading words on a screen is typically more mentally and physically straining on the reader than reading words on a page. While it may be true some methods are better than others, none are better than paper. While e-ink can be easy on the eyes, it is often the screen behind it that can be physically straining the reader. Depending on the device the reader is using, there can be varying degrees of flickers, glare, and pixelation on the screen. However, all of these are more taxing on the reader than simply reading on paper. In addition, readers can also suffer from headaches and blurred vision after using the screens for extended periods of time, something the American Optometric Association recognizes as computer vision syndrome, and says 70% of people who work long hours behind computer screens suffer from. A study done at Karlstad University in Sweden ran a 30-minute reading comprehension test with the subject split between a digital and physical version. The volunteers who completed it on the computer reported higher levels of stress and exhaustion than those who completed it on paper. This brings us to our last point, how reading on paper can help with the retention of information. Reading text on paper is superior when we are attempting to recall something we read earlier. Some researchers believe this is because flipping the pages of a book provides something like a trail when we are reading, like we are putting one foot in front of the other. This is beneficial when we are trying to recall something we read earlier, as we are better at remembering where we came from when we have physically done it. This is evidenced in multiple studies as well. Researchers from National Central University in Taiwan found students had a harder time reading academic textbooks on a screen than on paper, and noted that they were unable to form cognitive maps with the e-textbooks. Additionally, a study performed at Bell Telephone Laboratories in New Jersey revealed that the subjects who were better able to quickly remember and locate meaningful information in the text when reading on paper. This brings us to the end of this particular book. In summary, I've informed you how reading physical text provides better concentration and comprehension for the reader. I've illustrated how reading digitally is more mentally and physically demanding than reading on paper. And I've explained how reading physical text can help with the retention of information previously read. I hope that you now truly realize that maybe new isn't always better, and there can sometimes be benefits to doing things the old way. So, go put those thousands of paper books in our college's library to good use, and maybe you can be the one telling the next person why sometimes the old school way of doing things is better.